Hello, everybody. I hope everyone's doing well. Post-vaccinated world out there, so stay safe. You know how it be. But anyway, you guys might be wondering what I'm doing in this new locale, this new studio. It's not a new studio, to be honest. It's at the back of my mom's office desk. You know, I found this nice little corner where I can stand and, you know, dance around and do whatever I do. And I can also talk about what I want to talk about. And it also looks kind of sick because I have all these cool posters. Shout out to my brother's this is also my brother's old bedroom. But I have an announcement. And the announcement is pretty cool. So without further ado, I would just like to say that we are bringing on another show onto this channel. Okay, so most of you are like, what the fuck does that mean? So I'm going to present to you the Changavi Show. It's going to be the second show on this podcast channel, on the YouTube channel, and on Spotify, and it's going to have episodes released weekly on top of the podcast. The podcast is not going anywhere. So for those of you that are worried, like, oh, you tapped out after 24 episodes, you're a quitter. Nah, the podcast is staying. The podcast is very much still there. Okay, episode 25 will be coming out shortly. This is a new addition to the podcast. This is the Changavi Show. This is going to be a more unfiltered version of me, kind of doing something that's not just interviews, not just interviewing other people and talking about, you know, more niche topics, because that's for real what we talk about on the podcast. This is going to be me talking about general things that I see going on in society and commenting on them. So let me give you the rundown of how the show is going to work. It's going to be different than what a podcast looks like, than what I'm usually used to. So let me give you the rundown real quick. This show will not exceed 40 minutes. That's the first rule. Will not exceed 40 minutes. And I've decided if it does exceed 40 minutes, you guys are going to have to put me on Instagram. Or you guys, not put me on Instagram, but you're going to basically have to see me do 20 push-ups, okay? And for those of you that know me really well, you probably are like, Anuj, you can't even do 20 push-ups. This is true. So you guys are going to have to see me struggle through that. So it's reward regardless for you guys, because you get to see me expose my lack of physical gifts. Thanks, Mom and Dad. And if I go over 40 minutes, but if I don't go over 40 minutes, you get a short show with a lot of content. 8 segments of different things. And they're going to go in a particular order every time. And the segments are really broad. So it'll be like sports, music, pop culture, right? And so I'm going to go through them right now. So the 8 different segments on this show and how much time I'm going to be spending on them. So the first, how we're going to start every show is through a personal update / I call it the personal update / introduction section. And that's going to be 5 minutes long. So basically what I intend on doing through that section is talking about myself, what's going on in my life, podcast stuff, announcements, that type of thing, so that we can kind of get all that stuff out of the way at the beginning. And I also think it's good to check in. You know, I think it's good to share with you guys how I'm doing, how everything's going, what's the vibe, etc., etc. So that's 5 minutes. Okay, so after the personal update / introduction, we're going to have our sports topic. Sports guests on here. And yes, I'm a big fan. But the thing is, I firmly have believed, especially in the last couple of years, from what I've looked at, that sports is a topic that's becoming more and more exclusive to the people that watch it regularly. And I think that's an issue. I am not a fan of people excluding a topic from everybody. Like, I think sports should be accessible to everybody, and there's so many people out there who want to learn, who want to do this, who want to do that, but they feel like it's too hard, it's too technical, it's too this, it's too that. So that's why my sports topics aren't going to be like niche shit. Like, if you want that stuff, go to Grant Cohn, go to 49ers Twitter, go to Warriors Twitter. That's where you can get all like the analytics and dive into the nitty gritty. And I love that, don't get me wrong. As a diehard fan, I'm big into that stuff. But what I want to do is break down broad topics for people so that hopefully people can understand sports a little better, right? And of course, I'll talk about the niche topics, as they be. But I want to do a service, not a service, but I want to do a good job, hopefully, of including sports to a broader audience. Next topic I'm going to do is a music topic. Music is obviously one of the most hotly debated things in the world. Not really in the world, but particularly in my friend group, it's very hotly debated. And I think music is subjective because it totally depends on your taste, right? So, you know, I mean, J. Cole and Eminem here are in the background. These are two of my brother's favorite artists, some of mine too. And, you know, for other people, it might be Luke Bryan and Tim McGraw. I don't know. But it's basically going to be me talking about different forms of music and my music takes, not only in just rap music, but pop music, etc., etc. And who knows, maybe I'll give country a shot too. No promises there, but music topic, we're gonna be talking about everything related to music, artists, trends I see in the music industry. That's pop culture, super broad topic. You could talk about the Kardashians, you could talk about content creating, the creator economy. So many different things are going on in pop culture every day that I feel like there's infinite headlines. So I feel like it deserves two topics. And it's also really broad. So basically, I'm just gonna give my take on pop culture, on different things maybe going on in Hollywood, representation in Hollywood, podcasters, you know, how they're doing, content creating, cool content I see. That's what pop culture is going to be. Just basically about maybe movies, films, comedians, all of that. That's pop culture. And that's going to be, I'm going to spend 10 minutes a week on that. Okay. Then there's going to be a news topic every week for 5 minutes. And I know what you guys are thinking. Dude, stay away from the news, okay? I don't want you turning into some, like, Alex Jones or, you know, Van Jones for that matter. That there are a lot of things in the news that people have no fucking clue about. No fucking clue. Like, literally, just, there, it's going on and it's a big issue and people are like, I didn't know. Like, so my goal is to maybe bring some of those headlines to light, break it down in a more Gen Z, more personable fashion so that you guys can go ahead and do your due diligence and, you know, take my take with a grain of salt and maybe look into it more. Do every week is a miscellaneous topic. And basically what that's going to be is every week, you know, I'm going to do a topic that maybe adding on to it, one of the segments that we have, maybe it's another pop culture topic, maybe it's a news topic if there's a really big thing going on in the news that week, maybe it's another music topic because maybe J. Cole and Drake both dropped an album, and I'll talk about both of them, right? Or maybe it's just a huge weekend for sports, and there's just too much going on that I have to talk about, and that I think is genuinely important. Or maybe it's just something that just doesn't fit into any of the categories that I've described. So maybe it's just, you know, me shooting the shit and talking about something going on in my life and discussing that with you guys and being more open. Or maybe it's, I don't know. So that's what the miscellaneous topic is for, 5 minutes. Maybe I'll have you guys vote on topics that you want me to talk about, and we can just talk about that for 5 minutes. That's the miscellaneous topic, and that's the point of that. So in all, shouldn't exceed 40 minutes. If it does, push-ups on Instagram. That's the bet I'm making to myself. We can maybe modify the bets, make them a little more fun. Like the show, please. If you guys like the idea for the show, like the video down below. Subscribe to the channel. This is going to be on Spotify and YouTube, so go follow me on Spotify. If you guys don't know already, I do have social media, so go follow me on Instagram, go follow me on Twitter. Follow me everywhere, essentially, right? That's the goal. We're just trying to gain a family. We're trying to gain more people. We're trying to gain more subscribers so I can make more content from the back of this desk. But for real, though, thank you guys so much for listening. I know this was a pretty long announcement. I'm going to try to cut it, so we'll see. But get everybody's attention, and that's my announcement. Changavi Show going live next week. See you there. Be there or be square.